Welcome to another episode of Late Nights by Luna Manila. Our latest episode is about the basics of business or the B in business. Pag-usapan natin yung mga basics of business kasi nag-start ka na magbenta ng baked sushi. Nag-start ka ng mag-banana bread. Pero, if you want this to grow, like, kung na-project mo na what you would like to happen in the future, let's talk about the basics. Kasi minsan nakakalimutan natin yun eh. Again, you already have a product. You know what you're going to sell. But, how do you really start? What are the steps to make sure that you have a market? What are the things they don't tell you when starting a business? To help us with some tips, I invited the Filipino watchmaker. He is the president and the CEO of JACKDAW Wooden Watches, Paulo Singson Sarmiento. JACKDAW watches are classy and high-quality wooden watches made from luxury brands. He was kind enough to share his experience and tips when starting a business. If you are planning to start your own business, or kaka-start mo pa lang, especially nung lockdown, you might find some of the answers you're looking for. So stick with me till the end because we are also going to give away, or we are giving away, a discount for JACKDAW watches exclusively for Luna Manila listeners. I prepared 5 questions to ask Pao, and I will be sharing short clips of his answers. First is about conducting market research. You already have a product to sell, but how are you going to conduct market research? Okay, according to Pao, one of the best ways to conduct market research is, through a survey. Diba? Very basic. You can use a Google Forms or ask friends and family directly. Now listen to this short clip.
Actually, when I was starting, I wanted to do business with my brother. Yung brother ko, he was making good money selling bamboo and wooden sunglasses, diba? So I wanted to get in on the action. So before I went with my brother naman, I did my research also. For me, what I did was, hindi pa ako marunong mag-Google Forms at that time eh. So I printed out a couple of survey forms. I had my number one, una kong nilapitan. Pinasagot ko muna sa family members ko, immediate family, cousins, ganyan. Kasi for me lang, this is just my personal opinion. The best way to do it is start with your inner circle, then slowly move out of your inner circle. Kasi syempre, inner circle mo, family mo, they don't want to hurt your feelings or medyo bias sila. May mga, di ba? May mga ganyan. Yeah, I don't want to hurt Zai's feelings. May mga ganyan. So, it's okay. I told them naman, please be honest. And my mom is brutally honest. She told me the
and that's
point.
That's why she's successful.
Yeah. She told me the things that she didn't like. She told me what she thinks would not work. Nakinig naman ako. So, start with your inner circle, your family, then with friends, then friends of friends, then random people you don't know.
Start the survey with your inner circle and slowly move out. Slowly move out. Tama eh. If you ask your family, there's a tendency that they don't want to hurt you with their feedback. Kaya don't forget to ask friends. Then, friends of friends. Then, strangers. Whether you do the survey on paper form or online, survey is key. Also, feedback is important. But feedback can hurt. How do you handle a challenging feedback? Listen to this. Parang mabibili ba yan? Ganon.
Yeah.
It's a good advice.
At saka, syempre, di ba, nagpapasagot ako ng survey. So, the thing is, hindi lahat ng tao gusto yung produkto ko. Like, hindi lahat ng results are the results that I want. Di ba? Meron din daw, some people would be, I don't want this. I don't like this part of the watch. I don't like this design. There's always something they don't like. But, with the responses na ganon, I ask a question naman na, okay, given the things you don't like, now what are the things that you like? So, I think that's a very important question to ask. Okay, ngayon na sinabi mo na yung mga hindi mo gusto, ano yung mga gusto mo? So, after the negative feedback, I always try to look for something positive about my product. Number one, kasi syempre I wanna know what people like about it. And number two, para hindi ako ma-discourage, na pag panay negative yung naririnig.
You challenge the feedback on a positive note by asking, well, what do you like? What do you suggest? In this way, it will give you an idea what your customer is looking for. Hindi yung may nagbigay lang ng feedback sa'yo tapos parang, wala na, nag-emote ka na, nasaktan ka na parang hindi naman pala masarap yung banana bread ko. Charot. Pero, so you ask, okay, so ano yung gusto mo? Lagyan ko ba to ng walnut? Lagyan ko ba to ng chocolate? Ano yung masasuggest mo? 'Di ba? Para mag-improve. Again, these are the basics when conducting market research. Moving on to my second question. Bakit kailangan ko? Ang dami kong conduct ng kamay. Anyways. How to write a business plan? What are the important questions when writing one? Pao gave his top 3 important questions to ask yourself before you write a business plan. First, why are you doing this? Why? Para may babalikan ka pag may mga na-encounter kang difficult challenges. O halimbawa, nag-start ka magbenta ng banana bread nung lockdown. During the pandemic, nagka-pandemic ulit. Charot, wag naman po sana. Ano yung babalikan mong why? Ba't ko ba sinimulan tong banana bread na to? Example lang. Second, how are you going to do this? Are you going to be alone or do you need a partner? Gusto mo ba suluhin yung kita? O gusto mong para mas masarap, kuha ka ng partner para may makakatulong mag-bake sa'yo or magtumulong dun sa business mo? Diba? How are you going to do this? These questions will lead to a more detailed part of writing your business plan. And then the last question would be, when do you want to do this? You need to create a timeline. Diba? Short-term and long-term plans of your business. It doesn't matter kung gaano kaliit ang business mo. I believe when you plan it this way, diba, pag sinulat mo, pag pinano mo ng maayos, dito magsa-start yung growth. Again, the 3 questions you should ask yourself before writing a business plan are why, how, and when in order for you to get to the detailed parts. Again, they may sound simple and these are only basic questions, but sometimes we forget them. Verbalize these questions, then write them. Moving on, let's talk about the finance part. So what's your advice for startups when assessing their finances? What are the important factors? First step would be to list down how much money you will need and project it for the next 5 years. Pao said that you must outline and clearly explain to yourself how much funding you will need. So once you got that written down, you'll be able to specify, specify o Spotify? Charot. You'll be able to specify the debt and equity. It's really important to know the basics of financing your business. Know your financial situation. Write a backup plan. So for example, nagpaplano kang mag-loan, paano kung hindi ka na-approve mag-loan? What's your plan B? Diba? What's your backup plan? And also, assess your long-term plan. Again, short-term, long-term, sulat natin yan. Lalo na if you're starting small, you want your every penny to return, diba? Okay, so now let's talk about branding. How do you brand yourself? How do you advertise? This is what Pao had to say about what he does for JACKDAW.
Okay, so I think that my personal branding, kasi the way I do it my personal branding as Paulo Sarmiento is very synonymous to JACKDAW. And what I think JACKDAW stands for, diba? So, kasi I want JACKDAW to be a lifestyle brand for, young people who want a better lifestyle for themselves but don't necessarily have to spend so much on a nice watch, diba? So, the way I want to brand JACKDAW kasi is it's for the modern gentleman. It's for the modern gentleman kasi. So, my personal branding, the way I carry myself, the way I dress up, the way I speak, and, the way I interact with people, all my actions has to be in line with what JACKDAW stands for. Kasi, like, what if, I want JACKDAW to be for the modern gentleman. What is the modern gentleman? Somebody who dresses well, somebody who, is very sociable, attend mga gala, mga ganyan, these kinds of events. That's what I want JACKDAW to be. So I have to portray that, diba? So, you know, the way I dress is very in line. So the way I brand myself is that, you know, I like wearing suits. My shirts are...
Branding means you pick your business personality. What's your slogan? Banana bread, banana rama. Ayan na. Ang corny ko na. Kalimutan niyo na yon. What's your slogan? Dapat di ko ginawa eh. How do you want your business to be identified? When it comes to advertising, I think we are lucky that advertising our business is easier nowadays because of technology. Diba? You can promote using Facebook, Instagram, create a website, or mag-live kayo dyan sa Shopee and Lazada. You can even start a business even without renting a commercial space. Or at least, you know, not just yet. And, last but not the least, what's your best advice to grow your business? Listen to Pau's advice.
The only way for your business to keep growing is never to think of yourself as a success. Because when you think of yourself as a success, that's when you become complacent. That's when you feel na, okay na to. Like, the mindset na, if it works, why change it? If the formula works, why change it? Pag ganyan ang mindset, there's no more room to grow. So, just my best advice is never think of yourself as a success yet na you've reached the top, because once you reach the top, there's nowhere else to go but down. So just, you know, think of yourself as, there's always room for improvement. I haven't succeeded yet with this business. All my previous successes were just, you know, minor successes. Mga minor success lang yun. But if you want bigger success, you have to keep changing. You have to keep improving. And, you know, you have to never plateau.
So never think of yourself as a success. There is always room to grow. You have to keep improving. Ask feedback from customers. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I would like to share this very important business lesson that Pau had to share.
Very big advocate of failing, and you know, parang my main message last time we spoke was, it's okay to be a failure, because the only time you really fail is when you stop trying, and when you stop, you know, when you stop trying to improve your business or tweaking it. Because failure is something that you will never be rid of. Like, even the most successful businesses still fail.
So the only time that you fail is when you stop trying. So if you're planning to start that business you've been wanting to do, kung halimbawa nag-start ka na ng banana bread, o gusto mo naman ng cupcake, gusto mo itry yung sushi bake, ganyan, go ahead. Gawin mo na. Kung may budget ka naman at may plano ka to make it grow, di ba? We have come to the end of this episode, and I hope you've picked some tips. Please visit jackdaw.com.ph and check out sophisticated watches without hurting your wallet. Good news for Luna Manila listeners. You may purchase yours through Instagram. Just search for jackdaw.ph sa Instagram and use Luna Manila JACKDAW for a 20% discount. Link is on the description box, and let's support local businesses. Alright, you guys, let me know what you think of this episode and what you have learned. What are the challenges that you overcome when you're starting your business? Or kung kakastart mo lang, are there any tips that you would like to share? So please, i-comment nyo yan. Remember, sharing is caring. Till our next episode, thank you all for listening. For those of you who are new to this channel, Late Nights by Luna Manila is a podcast where we talk about late night thoughts. We aim to create a safe space for everyone to share their ideas, experiences, inputs on societal pressure, dating, love, and the ups and downs of our journey living in Manila. This is our video podcast where we summarize our latest episodes from Spotify, which you can also listen on Apple, Google, and other podcast platforms. Links are in the description box, so please subscribe if you wish to be notified about our latest episodes.